Are you in the market looking for a return pump, which is essentially the heart of your aquarium system? In today's video, we are going to look at one of Jebao's latest models offering in the market to see if it's a viable choice for your aquarium. Happy New Year, reefers! Today I'm gonna cover what has arrived in the mailbox, which is the MDP 6000 return pump by Jebao. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna do a simple unboxing. Then I'm gonna maybe try dismantle the parts and see whether there's any flaws or whatsoever. Then we're gonna go through some testing and share my afterthoughts as to whether this will be a viable return pump for your consideration. Now, let's get started. As some of you might know, previously I have actually reviewed the Jebao MLW20 wave maker. Well, today let's unbox this return pump by Jebao. I actually got it as a spare emergency pump, and also will be using it to replace my current E-Heim pump, which is used for my salt mix. As you can see, it comes with the new remote control and it's rated for 6,000 liters. Aside from that, from the box you get some features such as the IC electronic detection, auto power off protection when there is no water, and a wear resistant ceramic shaft, which is quite common among most return pumps. So over at the sides you get to see the mode. Currently it's rated for 6,200 liters, 45 watts, which is much better than my current E-Heim pump. On the sides, nothing much. And over here gives an overall view of what will be included in the box. You have the power cord, power adapter, the LCD remote control, and the main pump itself. Over at the back is the same thing, just the images with some unique selling points per se. Inside the box we have instructions menu in Mandarin and another instructions menu in English, a warranty card, and a certificate quality. Power cord, the LCD remote control, the power brick, and it is currently rated at 66 watts. Over here, 2.75 amperes with an output of 24 volts. Some O-rings, multiple type of adapters for you to use with various pipings. And the actual Jebao return pump. Doesn't feel light, so don't really feel like a cheap build, but if we were to compare to my Ecotech Vectra, it's a tad lighter. You have some interesting see-through acrylic, and off the bat I already noticed not much protection, easily removable for whatever reason. Ease of removal for cleaning purposes. Oh, you can slide through the bottom and remove this, and there you have it. It comes with a 3/4 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch intake for your plumbing purposes, which the 3/4 inch and the 1 inch adapter you will require to make use of the O-ring over here, like so. And then you will use this cap to actually tighten it. What is interesting though, the two pieces down here can actually be fitted either on the top or over at the front once we remove this piece over here, like so. So there is no way of identifying which is which, but as you can see, both of them look similar, so I don't think there'll be any issue. It just gives you a more flexible way of mounting in whichever way that you would like, depending on your tank setup. And over here should be the output, depending on your piping or hose that you would be using. Then you just fit it accordingly, but there's no groove here for you to insert the O-ring compared to the intake plumbing accessories. Now let's set it up and see how it goes. As I'll be using this return pump on my salt mix barrel, I decided to use this fitting. And while trying to set up, I would like to also clarify that the O-ring itself is actually made to fit on the groove and not on the gap on the other fitting. So this will ensure a snug fit. Of the various adapters that comes with it. The physical setup is rather straightforward. You have the power adapter and the power cord, and the power cord enters through the left port of the remote, and the pump connector, please take note to align the notch over here to this little protrusion over here to make sure that there's proper fitting. Now to configure the return pump to the app. So what we need to do will be to download the Jebao Aqua application from your mobile store. For Google Android there will be Play Store, then iOS Store for Apple phone. So once it's downloaded, you might want to create an account. For my case, I already have an existing one because I set up the Wavemaker previously, just logged in. Those of you who do not have a device, you will see the add new device screen as shown earlier. For my case, I'll just add a new device and I'll add the aqua pump. To ensure the device is in smart configuration mode, we have to ensure that upon booting up, the Wi-Fi logo is actually blinking. If you want to enable it, just press and hold the Wi-Fi selection button and you will see the blinking to set it in the smart configuration mode. So once that's done, we just check the device in smart configuration mode tick box and we hit on next, and we have to enter our Wi-Fi password. Once we enter the password, you can actually see the application is actually trying to connect, and you will notice that the blinker might switch off for a while and then it will stop blinking. Once that's done, you will see the application actually find the return pump, so just select it and confirm to add. And there you have it. So by tapping it once, you can actually switch it on and off. If we want to configure, we have to press and hold. What's interesting for this app is that, or this return pump, as you can see, for the purpose of demonstration, I actually set it on feed mode so that I do not damage the pump over here by running it dry. But basically you can actually only set it at a minimum of 30% of power, and over at the top right you can actually set the time of the device, which will synchronize to the device that you are configuring the app with. Rename the device. Let's call it salt mix, which is what I'm going to use it for. Save. Or we can even delete the device in the application. Upon playing with the application for a while, it seems that there is no other function or feature available in the software except for setting the speed and programming it to the pump or setting it to the feed mode. So in short, it's a pretty basic pump over here. No other special feature except that you get a feed mode, power on and off, and you can actually connect it remotely by pairing it to your Wi-Fi system or your Wi-Fi network at home. If I were to compare this pump to my current Eheim 1262, apparently at 3,400 liters it already per hour rated, it already consumes about 80 watts and only has a pressure head of 3.6 meter. One of the downfall I feel coming from an Asia country when the temperature is on the hot side, the Eheim actually hits my water or salt mix temperature to about 35 or even 36 degrees Celsius on a hot day, whereas I hope that this MDP 6000, which is rated up to 6,200 liters according to the packaging, rated at only 45 watts with a pressure head of 4.5 meters, will create much lesser heat compared to my Eheim. There's also another version which I see that is slightly older to this. The key difference that I see is that for this model, the so-called magnet inside or the propeller shaft, they mentioned that it's made by a Fe2O3, which is a material called iron 3 oxide or ferric oxide. I'm not sure whether I pronounce it correctly. Basically, it's some sort of rust material iron. Another point that they mentioned is that this pump has motor protection from any clogs inside, which the older model would also have. So I'm not sure whether it's a value added in terms of the extra money that you'll be paying for. Then you are talking about the power off when there's no water. As you can see, I can be basically running the pump for a while. So based on this test, you can see that the so-called water protection, when there's no water, is supposed to power off, don't really work out of the box. Aside from the better looking LCD remote control, which allows you to set the variable speed and connect to your home network, I don't really see a value on why I should pay like substantial amount more compared to the older Jebao pump. And also a key worry that I might have is that if there's anything were to clog inside the ceramic shaft, I'm not really confident that I can actually remove this to clear whatever that's clogged, or even that is possible to begin with. it doesn't allow me to disassemble and wash it. Another consideration that worries me will be the acrylic piece or plastic over here. There's this yellowing tint. I'm not sure whether it's due to machine oil or whatever stuff added during the manufacturing that causes this. As per all the other Jebao or Chinese brand pumps, I would recommend that you would run this in RODI water before actually using it to clean out any impurities. Another issue that you see over here, because I was just running it dry for a while, you can actually see the propeller already start to have some tear and cracks. And because of this enclosure, there's no way that I can replace this piece over here. So after testing this product over here, what are my thoughts? Initially, I actually ordered this online because it's not available in my country. So I have to order it from China, which I'll leave a link in the description below if you are interested. Would I actually use this? If I just want a DC pump, maybe I'll consider the older generation of Jebao as a more affordable kind of option. But if I want a wireless connectivity to be able to connect and control wherever I am, if I have to travel a lot, then I might consider getting this to do the remote control. This might be useful for me in terms of controlling my salt mix system, which I'm gonna set this up, and it's in the kitchen. If I were to want to do water change, then I can just remotely be at my aquarium and just remotely control it to pump water into my system. So that is actually one of the main reasons why I got this. Would I trust this as the primary pump for my tank? That is actually still a question mark. There are some hit and miss whereby some pumps actually last more than a year, whereas there are some users or friends that I know that has complained that they actually own a Jebao pump and it fails within a year. So that is up to individual for you to decide. If there's any feedback or comments you have about the Jebao pumps or wave maker in general, feel free to leave your comments in the description. And if you are actually interested in finding out on the wave maker, do check out this wave maker video if you're considering a wave maker. And like always, stay safe and thanks for watching.